Ury is a world-renowned mediator, writer, and speaker. He founded the Harvard Program on Negotiation. One of his books has sold 8 million copies and been translated into more than 30 languages. Ury has studied cultures and conflict all over the world, from ethnic wars in the Middle East, to the coal mines of Appalachia, to the Bushmen of the Kalahari Desert. So how is it that he recently found himself in 2 Barry-Wehmiller divisions in the Northwoods of Wisconsin?
I had the privilege of getting to know Bob just a few months ago and to experience the hospitality and get a taste of what the culture of Barry-Wehmiller was like, which of course whetted my appetite to actually experience what it might be like in different plants, as I've had the privilege of seeing.
Ury spoke with team members at PCMC, MarquipWardUnited, and corporate headquarters in St. Louis. He said American manufacturers should take note of Barry-Wehmiller's commitment to putting people first.
Form of decision making is shifting. We're having to learn how to make decisions together, jointly as a community. And so that's what particularly interests me about the social experiment that you've been conducting here at Barry-Wehmiller, which is how do we do it in a way that actually makes sense, that actually gives value to people, that allows us to treat people as human beings.
Ury said one essential element that has emerged as a result of Barry-Wehmiller's people-centric culture is trust.
One phrase I heard from one associate on in the plant yesterday, he said, people listen to you. And that to me sort of summed it up. If you had an idea, you could get engaged. If you had a complaint, you would be listened to. But that listening was, the core behavior for building trust.
We had what we call Kaizen events, where we would examine a particular department. I work in the mandrel department, and we had a group of people gathered together for a week, from engineering, from design, from the machine shop, every person who had an impact on my product here. Everybody was kind of leery and nervous about, but the people who were the facilitators of the Kaizen events did such an excellent job of creating an atmosphere of trust that it didn't take long for people to begin to come out of their shell.
Another key component of Barry-Wehmiller's culture is recognizing and rewarding team members for their contributions with the Guiding Principles of Leadership SSR program.
When I won, it was probably one of the amazing things that ever happened to me in my life, other than having my 5 children. When that car came home, it was like, wow, Mom, you did that, I guess that was the best part of it.
Seeing their face when they won the award, it would just carry me to want to work harder for them. And to be on the other side of that was really, I didn't know how to react to it. That my coworkers thought that, I even lived up to 1 bullet point on the GPL document was a thrill for me.
I operate in a pretty small little world here, and they recognized me. And I felt pretty good about that. But more than anything, if I make my wife proud of me, that's what means something to me.
The listening plus that kind of recognition to me are kind of like the 2 pillars that build the trust. And out of the trust comes the sense of community, that we're all in this together, and that gets reinforced by walking the walk, walking the talk, like in 2008, 2009 with the furlough.
The furlough plan was a plan that allowed some of the older guys who are maybe set more financially and able to absorb a layoff, it allowed them to take a volunteer layoff, and some of the younger guys were able to stay. And everybody really appreciated that right from the beginning, that we are going to avoid layoffs.
Who you are really comes up when you're tested, and I think it was a true testament to our culture. We talk about it's all about people, and we had an excellent opportunity to demonstrate we are going to share this, we're going to work together and share the suffering. So as much as it had financial burden on me and my family, the thought that we are part of something bigger and something much more powerful than what we could do individually, I kind of think supported us throughout the process.
I get to see my coworkers give more of their time to maybe some of the persons in our department that couldn't afford to be off. Some of our team members just decided to step up and take more time off so that they could give it to their coworkers. And that's family.
Ury said creating a people-centric work environment takes time. He pointed to the courses on communications and leadership offered through Barry-Wehmiller University as significantly contributing to its culture.
The way in which culture gets changed, it's partly by clear articulation of values, from like a charismatic leader. But it's in countless teachable moments all the time that slowly change a culture, slowly erode the distrust, so slowly build that trust, slowly build that capital, slowly a new way of doing things. And I know the courses play a huge role.
I really feel truly blessed that I'm part of an organization that really sees the importance of great tools to communicate better in all facets of their lives.
It takes two people to talk until 1 in the morning, and which means one of you has to be listening, and that's what the course does, is it shows you how to listen.
Used to run things in my mind of, while I was listening, of how I was going to answer next. That caused me to miss quite a bit of information.
And it shows you the connection between good listening and high levels of trust.
Ury said American businesses could learn from Barry-Wehmiller and his commitment to putting its people first.
Is it possible for companies there where all the manufacturing has been going to other countries, either down to Brazil or to China or other places around the world, is it possible to pay people fairly, treat them superbly, and compete globally? I think most people would say, no, it's not possible. You're showing that in fact it is possible. It is possible, and that in fact culture is not, and people is not an afterthought, it's not a second thought, it's not a luxury. That actually the culture, the people, treating people humanely is actually your competitive advantage. It was amazing just to see that actually human beings count, and actually they make a difference. So it's not only the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do.